Hey guys, Ben here, checking out Overwatch today. It is October 10th, so by the time this video comes out, a few days will have passed. Anyways, we are checking out Overwatch, Halloween of Terror. So their Halloween event that they started last year. This is year 2 for this event. They had some pretty cool skins come out last year for this, along with a few victory poses, along with some highlight intros. So we'll take a look at those. Some of the old ones, and then we'll actually mainly focus on the new skins this year. We'll go through each hero and show whether or not they got a new skin. As you can see on the screen here, there's a skin for Zenyatta. This is actually a new skin this year, and we will look at that a little more closely as we go on. So let's hop in the hero gallery here. So, starting across the top, working our way down, we have Ana here, and we have the skin from last year. So this is her ghoul skin. Nice little scary mask for her, along with a nice sniper rifle with some spider webs on that, if you can see the detail there. Moving on into this year's skin, it is Corsair. So she's got a nice little pirate uniform here, which is pretty sweet. Kind of hope I can get that skin. That cape actually is pretty sweet there. Kind of a take on a Jolly Roger, a little bit. It's an awesome skin. Backing up to our next person, Bastion. So Bastion, this is last year's skin here, called Tombstone. Nice little stone-looking robot there, and the bird swapped out for a little crow. So this was Bastion's skin. Looks really cool. I don't believe he got one this year. No, he did not. So let's move off to the next one. D.va. D.va definitely, I know, did not get a skin last year, and did not get one this year either for Halloween. So I'm rocking her cruiser skin here, which was from the anniversary. Moving on to our next hero, we've got Doomfist. Doomfist is fairly new. He does not have a Halloween skin. So just a quick look, just to make sure. And sure enough, there's not one. This is the current skin I'm using, Iron, which is to take kind of off Jack from Tekken, if you're a Tekken player. Moving on to Genji. Genji definitely did not have one last year, and does not have one this year either, I believe. Yep, looks like that is true. The suit I'm wearing for Genji is the Sentai from the anniversary one, so giving Genji a little Power Ranger look there, which is pretty sweet. I like that one. Moving on to Hanzo. Hanzo definitely did have one last year. I remember it because I didn't get it. It was the Demon one, so that one's actually pretty sweet. He's got his little gourd there and the demon tattoo on his shoulder, replacing the dragon tattoos. So that's a nice skin for Hanzo. No new one this year. Moving on to our next one, Junkrat. So Junkenstein is Junkrat's skin here, which is pretty awesome. So Dr. Junkenstein, or Junkenstein, however you pronounce that, or however you like to pronounce that, I should say. That's a fun skin. I've been using this since last Halloween. Actually, one of my favorite skins from him. It's pretty sweet, and I like it a lot. He did not get a new one this year, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, he did not have one there. So moving on to Lucio. Lucio, I know, did not have a Halloween skin, and it does not look like he has one this year either. McCree actually got one this year. He didn't have one last year, so that's cool to see this year. So he has a Van Helsing skin, which is pretty sweet. He's got this nice little kind of a demonic arm along with robotics to fit the feel of McCree. He's got this sweet revolver here, and on the back, a nice little crossbow, keeping in time with how, you know, Van Helsing hunted vampires back in the day with his crossbow. So it's pretty sweet to see. It's a really cool skin. I really like that a lot. Moving on to Mei. Mei again. Did not have one last year, but she has one this year. It's called Jiangxi, which is kind of neat. It's more of a take on like a Chinese zombie or vampire kind of take. She's got the towel scroll there on her head to try and keep her inanimate, but unfortunately that's not going to work out since it's a Mei and she's a playable character. So it's pretty nice skin here. I do hope to get that one. It looks like a lot of fun. Moving on down to Mercy. Mercy had this awesome witch costume last year. It's pretty sweet. She really pulls off well, and her staff actually is like a witch's broom. And actually, I'll show that off really quick because it is pretty neat and unique for the skin. So, like a witch's broom. She is part of the story for Junkenstein's Revenge, so we'll get more to that later as we play that with some friends. Moving on to Orisa, another fairly new hero. She actually does not have a skin for Halloween, but this is the skin that I'm currently using for her. She's a really fun tank to play if you're into tank heroes. Moving on to Farah. Farah did have this skin from last year called Possessed. It's a pretty nice one here. Again, it's just kind of like a human being possessed. Nice purple or pink mixture there. Yeah, I like that one. It's good. She did not have one this year, so just kind of moving on here. Reaper this year has a skin, and it's pretty sweet. We'll talk about this one from last year, so it's called Pumpkin, but obviously very reminiscent and looking like the Headless Horseman. So if you know that story, that's kind of the inspiration for his costume here, which is really cool. You can see kind of the pumpkin on his guns, and if you look a little closer, he's got a couple of candles as well. So that's a really neat one. I like it a lot. And we'll move off and look at his Dracula one, which is also pretty sweet. So it's keeping that Reaper mask, but giving a little more vampiric look. And also, this is the first time that we've had no hood over his mask as well, so it's nice to see that. So that's pretty neat to see. Checking out the guns and just the feel of that Count Dracula from Reaper just looks really, really cool. I will say I would have liked more of a cape look to him instead of this robe. So, and I mean, he kind of has this little cape, but you know, it's Dracula. It's usually a longer cape, but it still works. Moving on to our next character, Reinhard. I don't believe he has a new one this year, but he had this one from last year, so Cold Heart. It's pretty nice. Blue and blue flames gives it that real eerie, ghostly look for Reinhardt, which is just really, really cool. I like this one a lot. Moving on to Roadhog. Roadhog does not have a new one this year, but he does have one from last year, which is pretty sweet. So this is Junkenstein's monster. So Roadhog and Junkrat obviously being a pair to go together. This one is really nice. Obviously trying to be like Frankenstein. It's got this nice meat hook and that kind of steampunkish look for the chain wheel back here. And then the Tesla coils coming off the back. So definitely a really cool Roadhog skin. Moving on to Soldier 76. But moving on to his Halloween skin is the Immortal one. This is from last year. He does not have a new one this year. And this one was actually pretty sweet for him. Just kind of giving him that zombie undead look. The nice little devilish symbol on the back of his jacket there. But, I mean, fairly standard look to him. Obviously just different coloration. So just taking a look at that really quick. And obviously not having his mask and visor on. So that's a good one. So here's the Immortal one again. Pretty decent. Moving on to our next hero. We've got Sombra. Sombra actually does not have a Halloween one this year, so we'll kind of just move on. She does have some pretty sweet skins, though. There's like this augmented one, giving her that kind of purplish, you know, Tron vibe. I do have her other one, which kind of gives her that Day of the Dead look, which is, I guess that's pretty close to Halloween, though, right there. So that's a pretty decent one as well. Moving on to Symmetra. So Symmetra had one from last year. It was called Vampire, so this is it here. You know, she got the little bats on her stockings. Very pale skin in comparison to what she normally is, with the darker skin tone, the red eyes, and just giving it that real vampire look, which is a pretty good one from last year. But this year, they stepped it up, and they gave her this dragon one. So if you haven't seen on social media yet, the internet is pretty much blowing up with how much they love this costume or skin for her. And when I first saw it, I thought it was more of a Diablo 3 look and feel to it, but apparently it's a dragon, so you could even say it's more of a, you know, Deathwing kind of feel to it. So, if you're a Warcraft player there, and it's a pretty sweet skin. So I like this one a lot. I hope I end up getting it, and I definitely would use it. I believe her skin, if you look at it and look at her weapons, you can actually see there is a plethora of even skin changes there. So the nice little claw, the dragon eye, and her turrets. Oh, her turrets are pretty standard. I was kind of thinking more of along the line with dragons, but guess not. Teleporter, same boat as well. Pretty standard. So moving on to Torbjorn. Torbjorn did not have a Halloween costume last year, but he has one this year, which is pretty sweet. It is the Viking costume. So keeping with that style, being Swedish or Nordic, I guess. He's got this pretty sweet shield on the back that'll turn into his turret, and those axes are very nice as well. You know, I think some people will argue that he is holding Thor's hammer there. I'm not going to try and pronounce it because obviously I'm going to butcher it, so we'll just leave it at that. But that's a pretty sweet looking Viking costume for Torbjorn. Tracer did not get a skin this year or last year, but she does fairly often get skins. So as you can see here, a lot of these are Tracer unique skins for the holidays that have come and gone. Moving on to Widowmaker. Widowmaker also did not get a skin last year or this year. So just moving on. This is her summer skin, but again, no Halloween skin. Winston. Winston is the character I play the most. This is his Yeti skin for the winter season, which I don't believe he got a Halloween skin this year. Nope, and he did not get a Halloween skin last year either. So that's Winston's skin that I really enjoy. I also really enjoy his Wukong skin, you know, from the story Journey to the East or West, whatever it is. Moving on to Zarya. So Zarya actually got one this year. She didn't have one last year, but it's called Totally 80s, and it really fits Zarya's character about being like this weightlifter. And so it's all about fitness, and you can see she's in that old style 80s like aerobic suit and leg warmers. This is actually a really cool skin for Zarya, so I hope I get that skin for Zarya. I do play her every now and then when we need extra tanks, so that's a pretty sweet one. And moving on to Zenyatta. Zenyatta is actually one of my favorite healers to play, just because of how he heals and how he can debuff players. But he did get one last year, which is this Skull Yatta here. Nice little skeleton vibe there. You have the skeleton rolling around through his spine and his arms, you see the bones. See the brain up top a little bit, and then obviously just that skeleton face drawn in. So I really like that one. He did get another one this year, and it's pretty sweet. It's called Cultist. You kind of saw it at the beginning of the video when we were at the menu, but here it is, a little more detail. So Cultist being more that like Cthulhu-looking kind of feel. So he's got the tentacles for his mouth, the eyes of Cthulhu around as his orbs, and a little eyeball necklace as well. If you notice down here as well, his feet are kind of turned into those tentacles. Giving him that real feel for, in my mind, Cthulhu. A little cultist symbol in the back there. I really like the skin. I will say, you know, I have 4,000 gold here. If I don't get the skin during the duration of playing through the holiday, I definitely will buy this one out of all of them, because I like it a lot. And so, those were all the skins, all the new ones from for Halloween, and all the old ones as well from last year. You know, we will get into Junkenstein's Revenge as the arcade map that is going on until the 1st of November. I'll be playing that with a few friends here, and we will get to it in another video. So if you like this video and didn't see the other video, check it out. That should also be posted right now. But check out our gameplay of Junkenstein's Revenge. It's a 4-player map. It's very reminiscent of Man vs. Machine from Team Fortress 2, if you've played that. So that's a really fun map to play during the holidays. And so, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Sharing will help me out the most. Really appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time.